All right, hello everybody, and welcome to what we're going to call week 4 of our EDMA 637 Lakeville, LK, Bloomington's Southern Metro, St. Mary's course. Again, I want to thank you for your work to this point, and really start to think about as we essentially start to wrap this up, I guess. Just some different ideas moving forward. So I took into consideration Amanda's weekly technology spotlight for this introduction today. And so I'm outside, and I think this is a great way to work with your students, even in a virtual sense. Don't be afraid to take your class outside. Show them your yard, show them where you live, show them what you got, and really kind of follow nature. Okay. You also might be watching this on your Flipgrid app, and part of this week's lesson talks a little bit about Flipgrid, and I want to just make sure you see this other way to do this. If you are looking at me right now through your iPad, through the Flipgrid app, I probably look a little artificial intelligence right now, but if you're watching me through the just the link, that's fine too. But I just want you to see some different options and kind of consider how that might work. All right, so we got about 3 weeks left. That's pretty cool, and we're pretty excited to continue to move this along, wrap this up. Things to look forward to this week. First of all, Wednesday we'll get a weekly technology spotlight from Britain. We will put that out Wednesday night, Thursday morning for you to review and comment. I want to thank Crystal and Amy for last week's weekly technology spotlight. I love the concepts here. So post-COVID tech education, what is this going to look like when we're done? How much of this will we take when we go back to full in-person learning? What can we get out of that? And to Amy's work on Tech Buddies, this is probably one of the coolest like connection collaboration type things, role modeling from older students to younger students, and just really having that kind of connection to other people when it comes to our students. You guys do a great job of this. You can collaborate as adults. So the question is, can students, young people, can they collaborate, and what are the options for that? So again, great work to last week's crew as well. Things to think about this week. I'm going to ask you to review your grading sheet. So I'm going to call it the Roy G. Biv grading sheet. Obviously, it's got a bunch of colors that are building through it. And I want you to review that, make sure that it is all correct, make sure it matches the assessments and other assignments that I've sent back to you. Make sure I haven't made any mistakes. If I have, let me know about it so we can make sure we clean it up. Okay, we have records of everything electronically. So if I made a mistake, just let me know. I should have all the updates in the grade piece, especially assessments 3 and 4, done no later than Wednesday. Could be sooner than that, but that's kind of my target. And at this point, there's no review and comment needed for assessment 3 or assessment 4, and I don't think there will be going forward. I want to remind you again of your Twitter presence. I've been consistently sharing ideas on Twitter through our hashtag EDMA637LK link, and I'd love for you to share some ideas if you have them as well. I want to thank you this week for your blog work. I know for some of you that was a little bit like, what do I have to do with this? What's the point of this? I do want to remind you that as we leave this class, I'm hoping that you are in that mindset of a tech leader within your school and being able to share ideas in a lot of different ways. And I had a great conversation this week with one of you about, is there other ways to do that? And that's an open conversation, and we can definitely continue to have that. Also, thank you for using Assessment 3 through my blog. I will be giving you feedback within the blog. You'll get a message about that feedback when it posts, and then obviously updating the grade from that. Two main focuses going forward. We have one that's out a couple weeks. We call this assessment number 6. And this is I tied this to the Hyperdoc concept. I think we could look at this a couple ways, but the Hyperdoc concept. And within this slide deck, there's another video that explains this a little more clearly. Okay. There's a piece this week on flipped instruction. I'm going to ask you to take a look at an article on flipped instruction and then review that article in Flipgrid. So you're going to do some video reviews this week as well. There's an assignment this week on using video effectively within your classroom, both virtually and in person. We're going to talk about YouTube playlists. Some of you have them already. Just organizing videos into a way to share with parents and students, and how powerful this is. Also a great tool to add to a Hyperdoc or a web page for remedial learning. And these videos that you share could be your videos that you create, videos that you can use over and over again for instruction if needed. So A little bit more on video this week. We're going to do a little bit more with Flipgrid. There's actually two kind of assignments in this week's stuff with Flipgrid, but I also want you to explore a little bit. So I'm recording this video right now in Flipgrid Shorts, and there is a description of this in a video later in the slides. I love Flipgrid Shorts. I think it's pretty cool. And if you're looking at me through an iPad or a phone using the Flipgrid app, I'm probably floating around in front of you, which is kind of crazy. Um, I think it's a powerful tool. It doesn't work for all groups. It's important to know that. I've had a real struggle with this with middle school age kids due to the fact that they don't want to put themselves out there, and that's a challenge. Flipgrid's done a good job of putting blurring filters and some other things to allow kids to hide a little bit. But I'm also one that really wants kids to put themselves out there. So there's a small piece on screencasting. I'm not sure if this is super necessary at this point, so don't overthink this. But if you have some questions or thoughts on how you record video for yourself, kind of like I'm doing right now, there's just a little bit of information and some resources there with that, but there's no assignment connected to that. Piece on podcasting this week. Now that seems high level, but I think it's again the ability to give kids a voice, and I'll share some things with you. Our story about podcasting. First of all, I have not used this in a class setting before, but I started using it as a kind of an extra piece just before Christmas this last year. I've got a group that's doing some podcasting on. And actually, this last week we were featured on WCCO TV out of Minneapolis. So I'll share the link with that. You can check it out a little bit and share our podcast link through Spotify as well, which it seems higher level. So those of you that are primaries might go, I don't know if this really fits. But again, podcasting and different ways to record give your students a voice that they maybe didn't have before. And I think in this current situation we're in with virtual learning, I really feel like we've lost our student voice, and I comment on that through the TV piece as well. So the Hyperdoc, just so we're clear on this, it's not due for a couple weeks. This is assessment number 6. But it is something I want you to kind of keep kind of working on, just kind of plodding through. All of these tools that I'm giving you, Flipgrid and Screencast and Podcast and all these things, are all little pieces of the toolboxes that you can use within your Hyperdoc if you want to. Okay, and again, Hyperdocs can be set up for delivering directly to students. Also can be used as delivery in front of your classroom. Also can be used as a great tool for parent interaction and parents helping their own kids. Really important. Hyperdocs are really designed to be any level. Okay, so this is not just a high school, middle school. This is every single level. And if you dig around a little bit, do some primary level Hyperdoc searches, you'll find some great things too. So what's really due this week? Assessment 5. This is your website. And I want to thank you for the skeleton you sent me a week ago. That was just the start. Some of you are way further along, and some of you this is super easy. So this will be due at the end of this week, and I have a rubric, kind of a what do you need to include. I'm going to have you add a few things that maybe you don't have already. Those of you that we've had conversations about related to posting within your district and maybe some rules that your district might have. One of the things I think is important is to not overthink that, but maybe turn this into an assignment instead of a class website. So, but you can add and tweak. It's a great tool for parents and students. So that's the guts of this week. Again, I want to congratulate you for traveling through this process of change while you're doing your St. Mary's work. Remember that you only have a few more weeks of this course and then one more class and then you're done. So congratulations on that. I really think it's really about for you guys thinking, what's your next learning model you're working in within your schools? My school is going to full in-person starting on Monday. So we're excited about that. We're fearful about that, but it is something that's right in front of our brain. So office hours this week will be 7:30 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Again, if you can't make that, please email, and you need some help, please email me or text me or whatever, and we'll set up a different time. But that's what I will be on. And there's been somebody popping in each week, at least one or two of you, and I appreciate those conversations. So have a great week. Have a great week, those of you that are getting back with students and with your families. And by the way, get outside. Get outside. I'm sick and tired of looking at these computer screens. Take care, everybody.